this is me, managing director.
Yes.
Yeah.
And going into...
I've just talked your ear off for a good
10
minutes there,
this is exactly why you're here. So, Matt, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
Do you want to just tell us a bit about your journey and how you've gone from junior graphic designer who went into connections for a role to now managing director of Science Express?
Yeah. So, started when I was 17.
Yeah.
Went into connections with my mum. Yeah, didn't know what I wanted to do, but knew I wanted to do something in graphic design or graphics.
Yeah.
And then there was a role at Science Express to be a graphics assistant, just simply because it had graphics in the name. I was interested, didn't know what it was.
Oh, wow.
Went for an interview and, yeah, honestly think I got the job because I was the only one that turned up in a suit.
Oh, yeah. That's cute.
I think all the other lads there that applied were in like tracksuit bottoms and T-shirts and that. So maybe I came across a little bit more professional, I don't know. But yeah, got taken on. Started off in production,
Yeah.
which I had no idea what it was because I thought what I was doing was graphics, as in like design. But
I would have thought that as well.
Yeah, well that's it. Like going to school and college, you're never told what a sign company is. Like nobody ever really takes any notice of it until you start your own business or something.
Yeah, with graphic design, I would have thought like artwork, stuff like that.
Yeah, which is a part of it, but initially started off in production. So cutting vinyls on the plotters.
So did you design them and then you cut them? Or
No, like at that stage it was simply just plotting them. So when you basically put a roll of vinyl on a machine, it cuts out vinyl, that's plotting. And then weeding is when you take off the excess material and leave behind what's essentially the letters.
Right.
So doing a lot of that, preparing like vehicle kits. We used to have big contracts for Speedy, so we'd maybe do like 10 vehicles in a week. So it was my job to help manufacture those kits. And then, yeah, did that for maybe 4 months, I think. And then I'd moved department. So then into installation. So out of the building on the road, fitting vehicle graphics or science.
Was you expecting that when you went to Connections?
No. I mean, at the time, I was 2 stone wet, so I couldn't even lift anything. And then next thing I know, I'm on ladders.
You did have help, didn't you?
Yeah. On ladders fitting tray signs and it's properly thrown into it, which was interesting. I didn't like it. But
Did you not?
No. I didn't want to be out in rain fitting signs. I wanted to sit behind a desk and play on a computer.
Design.
Yeah. So, yeah, did that for probably another 3 or 4 months. The fitter probably got sick of me.
Complain.
Useless. And then they moved me over into the workshop, fabrication.
Yeah. What's that? Go into detail in regards to fabrication.
Yeah, so back then we never had any like CNC machines or laser cutters. We used to have like we did used to have a CNC machine, very small one for making like tactile and braille signs.
Yeah.
It's where you do all the like the dirty work, if you will. There's stuff that creates a mess. Yeah. So swarf and like sawdust and because in the vinyl room it needs to be completely dust free.
Yeah.
So it's a separate department that does all that. Doing a little bit of manufacturing, painting like wooden sign posts and folding trays, and again I was useless at that as well.
Oh.
Yeah, it weren't my forte.
Well, this is completely different to what you'd probably thought what you were going
Well, yeah,
in
exactly.
for.
At the time, it's not. I'd never even held a drill.
Is this like the process that they have to go through to get to where they want to?
Well, in my opinion, it's probably the best process.
Yeah, because you're learning everything.
It's not necessarily what everybody does now. Generally, if you apply for a role, you start off in that role and that's where you finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, back when I was learning, you had to know everything, which is exactly what they did. They put us in a department for 4 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they'd move you on.
That's good though, because then it's giving someone the option of thinking, you know what, I actually really enjoy this.
Yeah. And it gives you an understanding on everybody's role, so that when you eventually do settle somewhere, you know what hardships they go through, and you can kind of help them. So, after about 3 months in the workshop, moved on to graphic design.
Yeah.
So upstairs, we used to have upstairs and
Finally.
downstairs. Yeah. And then, I think it were obvious that that's where I was actually good at being.
Yeah.
Just drawing up customer logos. But the problem was at the time, in college, they'd only taught us Photoshop.
Okay.
Never touched Illustrator. We used another program called Composer as well. We never even knew about that one.
So did Connections put you onto the college course as well?
No. So I was already at college at the time. Didn't like it, so that's why I started looking for a job full time. But yeah, they never taught us Illustrator or Composer, any vector-based work. It was all photo manipulation, so it was kind of transferring those skills onto Illustrator, which is kind of similar, but not at the same time. And learning that on the job, which was good. We had a lead designer at the time that taught me a lot.
I think learning on the job is so much better.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, 10 times better.
Yeah.
So yeah, picked that up, and that's ultimately where I settled.
Graphic design.
Graphic design.
What you applied for.
Yeah, finally, after a year. So, and then, from there, that's after time and time went by, the lead designer at the time left, things started to change, and I became lead designer. There was another big change in the company, roles got moved around. People left, and then I went into sales. It was all kind of a natural progression, because once you learn one side of the business, it's very easy to kind of move on to the next step. So if you know everything about design, then you can sell through designing things. So you can draw pictures and present it to people, and that helps sell it. So then all of a sudden you're kind of selling as well as designing. Yeah. So hence why I moved into sales. And then I was the only salesperson.
How was you doing at sales?
All right. I was never, still a young lad at the time, not very confident in your own.
Then?
Oh God, now you're asking. Early 20s.
Right.
Very early 20s.
Are you still at Science Express here?
Still at Science Express, yeah. And then we got... there was rumblings that the business was going to go up for sale. Somebody'd come around taking photos of everything. I didn't know really where I would stand if somebody would come in. I don't know if they were going to be sales orientated, so I would potentially get pushed out.
Was you worried?
Yeah, it was a bit of like a grey area. I didn't really know what was going to go on. At that stage, I ended up getting headhunted by another company. Went there as national sales manager, still in signage. Stayed there for a year and a bit before... the new owners then moved in at Science Express. Turns out it was.
Oh, so they did?
Yeah, it was up for sale. So the new owners took over. Didn't really have much of a signage background, and were looking for somebody to essentially come in and help shape it, and who had a bit of experience. I had a couple of friends that still worked there, so they said, well, why don't you see if Matt fancies the role again? He liked it when he was there the first time. So they did, they approached me, and then I ended up joining back again as business development manager, which was essentially sales, a little bit of business development, but also a little bit of centre management in there as well. Yeah. So.
How long had you been out of it for?
I think it was about a year and 3 months, a year and 4 months. So long enough that the turnaround of staff had happened. Yeah. Still, there was some people there that were there before I left. I'd still had quite a couple of friends there anyway, so it wasn't like I came in cold again. It was a warm welcome. But then started looking after the installation side of it as well, managing that, scheduling works. Went on RAMS training so that I could do risk and method statements, and sales training so that I could, obviously learn a little bit more about the cold side of sales. And from there, ended up moving into centre management, kind of a natural progression again. And then, further down the line, the opportunity arose to buy it. So this is me, managing director.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Going into...
I've just talked your ear off for a good
No,
10 minutes there, haven't I?
This is exactly why you're here. Signs Express as a brand, do you want to discuss with us how big they are actually?
Yeah, so to my knowledge, they are the UK and Ireland's biggest signs and graphics company.
Yeah. How many branches are in the UK now? Is it 60?
Somewhere between 50 and 60, yeah. Yeah, they're flying, basically. Been around for a very long time. I think as long as I've been alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long would you say that you worked for Signs Express before you become managing director? Because you have literally worked your way up the ranks.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere around 17 years.
Wow.
So I've been in it for about 18, somewhere around 17 at Signs Express.
Okay. And so you was offered the position too by the company?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so currently going through an MBO now.
Wow.
Management buyout. Yeah, exciting. But a lot of it's not that nerve-wracking because I was doing a lot of it beforehand. Yeah, the only difference now is I wake up in the morning and check the bank account. Yeah, it annoys me a little bit more when I don't get paid off somebody. Yeah, but that's about it.
And are you enjoying it?
Oh, yeah, I love it. Yeah. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Literally love the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's different.
That's good though, isn't it? Because it's like, you have to, I believe, and I say this a lot, like, you have to do something in life that you love, because if you don't love it, the productivity's not there, the motivation's not there. Like when I was working and I was doing sales, I was literally back to back on the phone like that, and it got to a point where I just thought, I do not enjoy this. Like my life was miserable then. Yeah. So you have got to enjoy it. Yeah. Sorry, we went off track then. Going back to Signs Express, so you've obviously now, you're doing the buyout. Which people are still there that you worked with from the beginning, and how's that been? Like, because that's a transition from you being an employee to an employer.
Well, everybody that works there now worked there when I was an employee.
Oh, wow. Oh, how was that? How did you find that transition? How did they find it?
I think a lot of them were, well, I think all of them were really receptive of it. I think it's a lot easier to be a managing director, in my opinion anyway. It's a lot easier to be in charge once you've been in the business beforehand and you've seen everything that they go through, what the gripes, because they're honest to you at the time. When you're an employee, they might not be honest to you when you're managing director, because they
So you heard the moans and that.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard the worst of everything, but I've also seen the best of it. Yeah. So it's easier to make decisions or remember to help people or give them recognition, or and again, it's not just about the money. I could just walk in there and say, right, everyone gets a 10 grand pay rise, and everyone would be absolutely buzzing. But at the same time, there's a lot more to it than
You've changed a lot of the company culture there and what you do for your team. Go on, tell us what you've done to them.
Yeah, so that was like a big thing for me, because especially I've been doing it for 8 months. This is into my 8th month, but in the first 6 months, we had something called completion accounts to pay off, which was a lot of money. So from day one, I pulled the team and I said, look, we've got a very, very difficult task over the next 6 months. If we do what we need to do and we get to the end of this 6 months and we're exactly where I said we need to be, then I'll start making changes, positive changes.
Yeah.
We did. We got through 6 months. We'd done a lot better than we were anticipated to do.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we seem to be smashing it, which is a massive benefit. I can sleep at night.
But they probably enjoy working for you as well, and I think that really matters, because if they like the employer, they're going to deliver results.
Yeah, you work a lot more for somebody that you like than you don't like. Do you?
Someone shouting at you or just being downright rude or horrible. You're right, it's not in it, is it?
No. But yeah, we implemented profit share. That's been running for 2 months now.
I think that's a fantastic scheme.
Yeah. And they all know exactly what they need to get that profit share as well. It isn't some kind of pipe dream where I'm setting ridiculous targets. Yeah. It's fair. So,
and is that as a group?
Yeah, as a group, yeah. Doesn't matter if you're part-time, full-time. You get the same. At the end of the day, we're one unit. Yeah. That's how everybody looks at it. So, yeah, everybody gets group profit share. Bonus, everyone got a nice bonus at the end of 6 months, just as a thank you for working so hard. Not to say that we've got a ton of disposable income to start giving massive bonuses out every month, but we did well enough, and everybody did exactly what they were asked of. And I think in my position, if I wasn't to give them some kind of monetary recognition, then I don't think it would have been fair. They got that. I took them to Preston North End in a box at Christmas. Got a couple of the guys down on the pitch before the before the match. Met the captains. Had photographs, like things that not everyone's ever going to get a chance to do in their lives. That was nice. Like, just to sit down and have a meal and watch the football together. I don't think we really watched much football. We had a few drinks. That was nice.
Everyone just started talking.
We've gone out for one of the lads at Eddie's birthday. It's just
you do a lot of team building.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's a nice atmosphere. Everyone likes turning up to work. Everyone enjoys it. As cringe as it sounds, like we are a bit of a family. Yeah.
And you're like friends. Like when we've been in, especially like seeing it all, it's like you can tell that it's an environment like that.
Yeah. Well, then at the same time, we know that if something needs to get done, everybody jumps on it and it gets done.
That's brilliant.
To a very, very high standard. I think that's the good thing about us all, that we can all have a laugh, and everyone is pretty much like best friends. Like we've been to each other's like weddings, and we've met each other's kids, and it is like that.
That's good though.
But then when push comes to shove and
you need to get your hands dirty,
it gets done.
That's good.
And that helps because everybody wants to help each other out. If somebody's struggling, everybody will want to help that person.
That's nice.
Yeah, there's no messing.
Like the company culture is so important. Like I go on about this a lot, right? And Christine's going to laugh when I say this, but I always say one bad egg takes all the office down because it's like a domino effect. And like one thing, I don't like negative people.
No. And don't get me wrong, we've had a few in the past. Yeah. I think every company would be lying if they said.
I get that you can have down days, negative days. I get that. But you can spot a bad egg a mile off. I can now. Yeah. I think I've experienced enough people to spot them.
I do everyone's head in the morning. I'm the loudest one in the morning, no matter what.
Yeah, but that's good. So you pick the motivation up.
Yeah.
You've got a gym in there anyway, so everyone should just get on that before they start.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a gym. We've got a bench and a couple of weights, But that's good as well.
Yeah, of course it is.
Everyone's on it now.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's good. When did they go on it? I'd go on before work. Get you pumped for the day.
Yeah, well, no, we... say like one of the lads is like walking out of office or something, to go to the toilet. Every now and again he'll pick up something, and then at the end of a day, like we normally like just do one exercise, and then on a Friday we do a 1 rep max.
Do you?
Everyone has to lift the heaviest they can lift on one exercise.
Do they? That's good.
Oh, it is, yeah.
No, it's becoming something. You could have like something set up in your yard. It's big enough.
Yeah, well, we're on about sorting the back out. Putting some AstroTurf down as well. And
that's good.
We're going to have a couple of barbecues out there.
Yeah. 100%. It's like activities like that. It's good team building.
Yeah.
So, as well, Matt, you're up for Industry Champion of the Year.
Yeah.
That's good. Within your first 8 months, that's brilliant.
Yeah, well, that was... I came second.
Oh!
Well, yeah.
It's
special.
been.
Yeah, special.
Well
it's been gone.
Oh.
But, that is, in my opinion, that is probably
that speaks volumes, Matt.
Yeah, well, it's the biggest personal honour that you can get in this industry at the moment. There's 2 major awards. So one's more for wide format print, which is coming up at the end of this year.
Yep.
And although we do wide format print, it isn't our bread and butter. So we're more in the signs kind of awards. But the industry champion is in the first one. It's just
well done, that is brilliant.
Yeah. I wasn't about it. Yeah. I didn't even expect to get a nomination. No. Well,
coming runner up within 8 months of taking over a business is phenomenal.
Yeah. It does feel a little bit like like a popularity contest, if you will. But at the same time, I mean, the people I was up against, I follow them on like social media and like look at what they're doing and think, bloody hell, like these guys are absolutely fine and killing it. Yeah. So just to be like in that group of people,
it's good to be recognised.
It means more than the recognition. So
that's good. Well done, Matt.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of when you said Signs Express, it's not just signs that you guys do, is it?
No.
You do so many unique products. Like, I was so shocked at the things that you actually do, because when you say Signs Express, you just immediately think it's just signs that they deal with.
Yeah.
Tell us about the unique products that you do.
Yeah, so that's probably the only downside with being at Signs Express.
Yes,
is the name.
yes.
Because for us, we like you said, we manufacture all the wayfinding signs, the totems. We do the day-to-day health and safety stuff, but we take on some mega projects. So we just renovated Preston North End's changing rooms, and we went in there as basically a design and build contractor. So we've measured the room up, we've created it in 3D. Battened it all out, we wood, plywood, completely transformed it from the design stage all the way to installation.
Yeah.
And I think we did it in something ridiculous like 5 weeks.
Wow.
So to get a bespoke joiners in there, they would have had no chance with the amount of detail that was involved in it. Yeah.
And like, how do you get around this? Because it's like, how do people find out that you actually do all that unique products? Because you've got to think of it as, I would not contact a company that said Signs if I wanted something like that.
This is why I'm here.
Yes, come to the right place, people.
We're quite lucky that we work with a lot of local companies, and word of mouth is massive for us.
Yeah. Is that what you said that you've done well on?
Yeah. So, we do get around a bit. But then, social media, LinkedIn is massive for us. It's the only way that we can get across that we can do all these different things.
Yeah.
We're a very visual company.
Tell us more about the unique products that you do.
Yeah, so it's exactly that. It's hard to list them off because we manufacture everything bespoke. So
you can do furniture, can't you?
Yeah, so we've made tables using wood. We've treated the wood. We've laser engraved into it. In our offices, we've got a map of Preston. Yeah. With the hairpin legs. We've made them.
What's the box at the front now with that 3D? What's that?
Oh yeah, we got a 3D printer.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, it's really good for doing like bespoke fixings. If we run out of a certain type of fixing or bracket, then we can print it, and it's not the fastest, but within a few hours we've got these brackets that we need, and they're completely bespoke to how we manufacture them. So when we design things, we can pretty much design anything we like because we know that we can manufacture the fixings for it. So that's exactly what we do. Right. Which, again, down the unique product side of things, nobody really would think of doing that. Yeah. But we can do it.
Brilliant. What industries do you work in?
Oh, God. The main ones, I would say, we do a lot for construction companies. So that will be either the health and safety sign as you start up, like site signs. That's our underbelly of work, if you will. So that feeds the printers day in, day out. We're very good at that. Yeah. Very fast turnarounds. But at the same time, construction companies come to us for large tenders. So if they are doing a design and build or a refurbishment and they need window manifestations in an office, then we would be the company that they come to get a price on. So they'd also come to us for the external signs, some totems, basically all the generic signage and graphics products, wallpapers, bespoke printed wallpapers. Construction companies is a big one for us. Yeah. But then we do a lot of works for estates and facilities at the NHS. Yeah. So we're an NHS-approved supplier. We're a dementia-friendly signage company.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, a lot of the members of the team have had training to know how to act in certain situations in and around the hospital, which makes it easier when we're installing or surveying. And we get it. That's the good thing about the NHS. We've worked with them for as long as I can remember, and I've been there for 17 years. But we get how the departments work. We get that they're very busy. We take all of the pain of ordering signs and surveying and the artwork.
You help all your clients with the full process, don't you?
Yeah. So we basically make it easy for the NHS. Yeah. Which again, that's where we're good. But at the same time, interior designers. We work with one-off companies. We work with factories. There's a lot of industries. Schools is another big one for us.
You've got a lot of exciting things upcoming, Matt, haven't you?
Plenty. We're very busy at the moment.
You
yeah.
are very
It's
busy.
good though.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Are you
be busy.
enjoying it? That's
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Do you?
I've said before, if I had the free time and no life, I would quite happily stay there till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning every
You
day.
do?
I do sometimes.
You do, you little liar. Can't lie on this podcast. You were there at 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Yeah. I did enjoy it though. It's good. Just
Yeah.
to be
'Cause
left
it-
alone to
yeah.
just crack on. Yeah.
You know what? Like we were just having the conversation before we started, weren't we? Like I love my Sunday mornings coming in, and it's like when you see it as a hobby, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like work.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a
Yeah.
very sad hobby.
No, it's not.
It is signs.
No.
No, like I said, because everything's different.
Yeah.
Every single day is different.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what? This is like what you need to get across is. It's not a science company. There's so much more to you guys that you have going on behind the scenes that no one knows about. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, for the Grand National, we helped a company make a stage.
Yeah.
Mirror stage.
Love that.
So loads of little mirror tiles.
Did you?
That was a cool one, yeah. It was completely their design. We
Yeah.
just facilitated it.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, just little things like that. And then you see it in action and you think, oh, bloody hell. Like, we've
We
actually
did
did
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just a sign company.
That's it. You have a lot of companies that come to you in regards to problems that they have.
Yes. So one of the big selling points about us is you can approach us with any issue. You don't need to give us the solution. That's what we're good at formulating. So, for instance, if you have a certain vehicle that you want to do something a little bit different on, you don't know what it is you want to do, come to us and we can say, this is what's trending in the market.
Yep.
It might be that new materials come out. It could be that the big companies have put a lot of R&D into doing things in a particular way, and we'll find out about that, and we can then transfer that onto your vehicles. We had somebody come into us a while ago that wanted the most garish vehicle that you can imagine. He just wanted to stand out, and we ended up using a reflective film on everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was
You like
almost...
that?
Yeah, well, you have to be very careful
Yeah.
with what reflective you can put in which area.
Because I was thinking it might...
But again, leave that up to us.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, there'll be companies out there that will do exactly what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
And then you'll take the blame for it.
Yeah.
Because
I thought that would have been dangerous.
It can be, yeah, it can be. But you have to be very careful with it.
Yeah.
So, like I say, certain colours in reflective format are allowed in certain areas on the vehicle.
Okay.
But that's, again, the good thing about being a Science Express is that we have a knowledge base that we can tap into.
Yeah.
So although we are a relatively small company, we can pick up the phone and we have 50 to 60 centres worth of information to pull from. There's a lad at head office that played an integral part in branding the Rio Olympics for the signs. So you talk to him about wayfinding, and he's just this fountain of information.
Wow.
And not a lot of people have that. They've got the people in the business and maybe a little bit of supporting help from elsewhere. But we've got tons of people. We've got the guys in Manchester who do office fit-outs, loads of office fit-outs. So if we ever have issues with what can we do in offices, we speak to these guys.
Oh, I mean, that's what's good about being in a franchise. You've got all this help as well.
Yeah. And we constantly, every single week, we're sent updates.
That's
so
cool.
we're literally, we know all the new things that are coming out, when they're coming out, why they're good, what the regs are. It's just sent to us, and we read through that.
That's good.
So it means we don't have to...
You looked after.
Oh, yeah, we're properly looked after, yeah.
That's
It's a
good.
good thing about being a franchise.
Yeah. Tell me what's next for you in this next year.
We have got the UK Graphics Awards coming up.
Yeah.
So we're going to be entering them. We generally do all right, just because, like I said, we do different things.
Yeah.
We're quite innovative, so I'm hoping we can get something in there. If not, then there's always the awards next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always nice to submit something.
You've got loads of awards in that in your...
Yeah, collect them.
You can tell, yeah. We're like, is there one for every year?
Yeah, we've pretty much got one for every year from 2016, I think.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we don't shout about it as much as we should do. But yeah, we will do now.
You will know.
We're taking everybody on a summer do.
Oh, yes.
We're going to do Crystal Maze in Manchester,
Yeah.
so that's a nice little thing we're doing for everyone. But then work-wise, I can't remember a time where we've ever been as consistently busy.
Yeah.
So generally our industry is very up, down, and you don't know where the work is coming from. It's quite volatile. We're busy if certain industries are busy, and we work with those industries.
Yeah.
So we've been very fortunate to just be like this year.
That's brilliant. Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of it's exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very difficult to market signs and graphics because a lot of people don't know when they need them. So nobody really knows, if they're going to go through a rebrand or when they're going to go through a rebrand. It's just kind of happens. There's a process behind it, but they're not going through a rebrand every month. But
the key is to keep them visible, so then you're at the forefront of people's minds.
Exactly.
When they need you.
Exactly.
Thank you and good night.
So I think that's had a big part to play in it. But I also feel as if because the staff are so behind it, they're pushing us out to everybody as well.
Love that.
So we've got Mozza in production.
Oh, he's good.
Oh, yeah, he's class. But he's constantly mentioning us people.
Yeah.
It's not his job to, but he loves it that much that he does it
I love that.
wherever he goes, which is his ace. And you get somebody like that within the business that does that.
Yeah.
To have a salesperson in every single role is priceless, isn't it? I think that's it. And a lot of people, I mean, I feel like I know half of Preston, it's weird. But now that I push it as well, because it is my business, then all my friends and their friends and family and they're coming in from all directions, which is nice. We're picking up a lot of customers we used to work with as well.
Oh, that's good.
We just over time, no fault of our own or no reason why, but you just end up losing customers, obviously. Lack of communication, people move in the job roles, and we're picking a lot of them back up again.
Yeah, that's good.
So just this year we've had 2 old customers come back to us. Who are turning out to be 2 very good customers.
Oh.
But again, I think that's because of the exposure.
Yeah.
So happy with that.
And what's your big vision with this?
World domination.
Yes, I love that.
Maybe not that far.
Don't say that, you might never know.
I do think that we will we'll get more areas.
Yeah.
So we can trade in more areas. That's ultimately going to be the goal, to grow.
Yeah.
We're working at the moment with other centres in the Signs Express group, all helping each other. And ultimately we all want to grow. So that's essentially where I'd like to be. But at the same time, I don't want to upset things too much. I feel like we've got a really good team.
Yeah.
I don't want to try and do it too fast. I don't want to just chuck people in and just expect turnover and profit to increase at the same time. It doesn't work like that. If I can get the foundations right first, and then we can maybe pick up a couple of extra areas, then brilliant. That's exactly where I see it going.
Oh, well, thank you for coming on today, Matt.
No problem.
It's been a
Thanks
pleasure.
for having me.
You are welcome.